Shalom Akim, Yahweh Bashem, Yahushua Bashem, Makakadesh, Barakatam, Shalom to the elders and apostles, and the of Great Millstone, and the Akim of preaching the word of the Lord Yahbashim and sharing sincerity and truth and diligence of mind. Alright, so you know how it is, man. It's all simple, daily stuff, that the scripture talks about. Alright, so you just have to bear with me, alright, because yeah, you just have to understand that being in Babylon is not a joke. It's tough, So you gotta be spiritual, to navigate around here. Otherwise, you're gonna get swallowed up, in your worries. That's why you have Jake always, doing too much, always looking for avenues to release that stress and tension. All right. That's why we have the Holy Scriptures to comfort us. And that's what it boils down to. Because you already understand in Babylon, man, we already poor anyway. So you shouldn't be surprised, what comes with the territory. All right. So I'm just gonna go into this topic. I'll make it brief because it's important to understand, the poverty we're in. Okay. So this is not about one person making it and everybody else, can make it too. It's about the whole nation making it. You know, that's what it has to be. It's about the whole nation. It's not about looking up to all these celebrities and all these entrepreneurs. It's just it's temporary. The wealth of this world is temporary. Having said that, you just have to accept the burden you have to bear. All right. So just see on the screen, man. You see the neighborhoods, man. You see a neighborhood that's been properly taken care of, and the one that is not. Okay. And then you look at the workers. Then you look at the ones going to work. These high-rise apartment buildings and all these nice fancy mansions. Okay. So it just proves to you that the Lord Yahbashim Kwakadash is just making things known to the people. Scripture talks about knowledge shall increase. All right. That's the reason why the Lord set up the internet. Okay. So this image from the Cairo Institute, they had a study that they conducted some time ago. It says what Americans think about poverty, wealth, and work. Yeah, that'll be a good read. Okay. So I'm just gonna go straight to the point, concerning the madness you gotta deal with in Babylon, man. So this book of Sirach, chapter 34, verse 21, it says, the bread of the needy is their life. He that defrauded him thereof is a man of blood. And that's what Esau society has shown, that his rulership don't really care about the people at the bottom, man. It's always about the people with the means. They get first priorities, They just keep feeding the fat cows, you know. It's just it's sad, but you just have to understand how it is, man. Esau don't like to compete. He just like to take. All right. He's oppressed so many people for centuries, and you see the results, man. You see the results: protests and long lines around the highway, around neighborhoods, queuing up for food, queuing up for supplies. The food bank is barely getting anything to meet up with the demand of the people. You got homelessness on the rise. You got so much, so much stress and hospitalization, man. Okay. So if you read verse 22, Sirach 34, verse 22, it says, "He that taketh away his neighbor's living slayeth him." All right, that's exactly what Esau has done. He's destroyed a lot of businesses. All these big box stores that destroyed small businesses by their presence in the neighborhood. By bringing in all that cheap, cheap products from China, from Bangladesh, from India. From wherever they have them made for pennies. A lot of small businesses were destroyed by moves made by by businesses like Walmart. You know, they've Kmart and all that stuff. All that local industry just got wiped out, man. They got forced into oblivion. They got forced off the market. You know, they got pushed out. That's exactly what Esau's economic model has done. Okay, and it's by design. It's all about the destruction of America. All right, so Edomites and Jakes, and Edomites, Israelites, Hamites, Moabites, Ishmaelites, Ammonites, they all getting the so-called small businesses, pushed out by this so-called agenda for the, COVID-19. So it's so sad, to see people in that state of mind thinking that they can still make it here. It's only temporary, you know. So it says in verse 22, he that taketh away his neighbor's living slayeth him, and he that defrauded the laborer of his hire is a bloodshedder. And that's one thing, you know, our people have understood with Esau, man. When Jake used to be, working on the plantation, you know, working as a sharecropper, and they got defrauded many times, man. Many times like you ever count of, you know. And that's one thing the Lord is angry with, man. So all that, guiltiness is upon the soul of these Edomites, man. They don't want to pay for it, but the Lord's gonna make them pay. It says they are as a bloodshedder. All right, they just committed murder because for someone to work, it takes energy, blood, sweat, and tears, man. Someone has to labor under the hot sun. Break up the fallow grounds. Cut down trees. Lift all type of heavy items and move up heavy items and all that stuff. These don't really care about that. They just want to make a profit. They start cutting back people's pay, cutting their hours, making them work overtime without pay. So it's just one thing you have to acknowledge in this place, man. It's not for long, but you have to understand you're still going to have to endure. Okay. So this is another precept from the book of Proverbs, chapter 22. Verses 22 says, rob not the poor because he is poor, neither oppress the afflicted in the gates. And that's one thing in societies has proven, man. You go to the court houses, nothing but people, man, nothing but poor people, man. Paying fines, traffic fines, child support this, child support that, bonds and all that stuff. That's what Esau's system has become, a system of oppression. A fee for licenses, a fee for this, a tax for this, a tax for that. If you don't pay, you get a penalty. You get your licenses suspended, get thrown in jail, you get your property taken and sold for less. And that's how, a lot of people get so frustrated. They just walk away, man. So it just proves that Esau's not fit for rulership. And verse 23 says, for the Lord Yahweh will plead their cause, right? The cause of the Israelites, okay? Will plead their cause and spoil the soul of those that spoil them. So this Edomites ain't getting no sleep, man. The Lord Abashima is letting them get payback. Recompense, vengeance. And that's what it boils down to. You know, that's why the Lord says, thou shalt not steal. You know, you shouldn't make it a tradition of just taking people's stuff without the authorization, man. You know, that's one thing Esau doesn't want to accept, man. Always wants global rulership, global control. Wants to be in the middle of everything to collect fees and have an influence. That's not the way to live, man. All right. So the Lord there by Shema Shai, has told our people not to abuse, the privileges, that is given to us. But Esau doesn't want to understand that, want to do his own thing. All right. That's why it says in, verse 23, it says, For the Lord Yahweh Shabashim Gakadash will plead their cause and spoil the soul of those that spoil them. Right? So they're gonna be damaged, man. Damaged both spiritually and physically. Even emotionally, man. That's why Esau's society is falling apart. The neighborhood is breaking down. When you go on all these apps, the so-called dating app, you're gonna start seeing tons and tons of Edomites women, single mothers. Single mother this, single mother that. You know. So that's how the Lord Abba Shemasha is tearing Esau's rulership apart, man. It's tearing his family apart. Okay? And then another precept is going to be from the book of, let me read verse 27. Proverbs 22, verse 27 says, If thou hast nothing to pay, why should he take away that bed from under thee? All right, and that goes into property taxes. If you can't pay it, why the hell should they kick you out of the house? It's not righteous. It's not righteous, man. That's why this world is totally upside down with Esau's rulership, man. People just walking around confused. So another precept is going to be from the book of Job. Job chapter 20, verse 15. It reads, it says, He hath swallowed down riches, and he shall vomit them up. The Most High shall cast them out of his belly. All right? That's how the Lord's going to spoil Esau's soul, man. All the riches he has, garnered and stockpiled for centuries, he has to let it go. All that gold and silver and precious stones and rare stones, rare gems and all that stuff that he's taken, he's got to give it up. Okay? And then in verse, let me see, another precept just to make things go quicker. All right, it's going to be from the book of Romans. Book of Romans, chapter 13. Yeah, because Esau can't afford to let simple things go, man. He always got to make a big issue out of it. All right. So this is Romans chapter 13. I'm going to read verses 5 and a couple of more of the precept. It says, Wherefore ye must needs be subject, not only for wrath, but also for conscience sake. All right. So as I came out there in the world, you just have to understand what's going on, man, and how to, keep in mind, the severity of Esau's law, and trying to be at peace, with with the world, man, not go seeking conflict. Verse 6 says, For this cause pay tribute also. So when you got something to pay, you pay it. All right. For they are the Most High's ministers attending continually upon this very thing. All right. So when you got a chance to pay your taxes, you pay it. But when Esau wants to take your house from you, it's hard to fight him. You got to find the money to pay everything you owe. Back taxes and all that stuff. And it says, render therefore to all their dues. Tribute to whom tribute is due, custom to whom custom, fear to whom fear, honor to whom honor. Because you don't want nothing to hold you back, from doing the work. That's why, Lord Yahweh Shai told his disciples, just pay them, pay the tributes and go on about your business preaching the gospel. All right. Then it says in verse 8, owe no man anything but love one another, for he that loveth another hath fulfilled the law. That's the point. But Esau would not do that. He's not a man that loves the Lord. The Lord Yahweh Shema Shai Bashim Kakadash is not impressed with the words of the Lord, because this word of the Lord is only for the elect. Okay? With all the wisdom in the scriptures, Esau wants to go against it. He doesn't want to hold on to it. Well, because he knows that he's not fit for it. Okay, it cuts him to the T. And when you look at the whole, look at the Leviticus chapter 25, it tells you about Jubilee. You know, when you owe people money, after a while, as long as if you're not, defaulting on it, even if you're defaulting on it, you can pay. After a while, they have to let it go. You know, and that's why Esau society is so terrible, man. You have issues of him selling his loan to all these so-called collection agencies, and they start calling you day and night. You know, you already pay usury, already pay for usury. Now you gotta pay extra late fees and all that stuff, and all that unnecessary knock on the door, phone calls and emails. You know, so it's very important to let the Lord Yabashim Ashai guide you through this, man. Okay, so another precept is gonna be from the book of Proverbs, chapter 22. Verse 7, it says, the rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is subject to the lender. And that's what it is, Akim. Esau's in the driver's seat, he's calling the shots. Now people just following along. Alright, so eventually Lord Yabashima Shai have to step in and break that relationship apart, man. That spirit of subjection to Esau's society, the Lord Yabashima Shai is pulling that mindset away. See all the protests and all that. Lord Abashima Shah is not pleased with Esau's rulership, so that's the reason why it's letting all these banks feel the brunt and all these businesses feel the brunt. Folks knocking on the doors to their Capitol building want to talk with their representatives. you know. So another precept, hopefully is the final one. It says, this is Proverbs chapter 19, verse 17. It says, he that had pity upon the poor lendeth unto the Lord Yahweh Bashim Shah Bashim Krakadash. That which he had given will he pay him again. Alright? So that was the point that I came, you already poor, so understand that don't let that hold you back. There's so much good that you can still do for the Akim. Alright? Just get this knowledge. Most High blesses you with a skill, use it to multiply, the shekels that you got, so you could distribute to the Akim, pay your tithes, get items for the Passover and all that stuff, pay your bills, pay your rent. And that's the beautiful thing of serving the Lord. You get rewarded, to do the necessary things, the necessities, that's what it boils down to. You're not going to get what you want, but what you need. And to get what you need, you could apply it, across the board. You sow that seed, and then, everything else is taken care of by the Lord. That's why you got to have faith. So I read the precept one more time. Book of Proverbs chapter 19, verse 17 says, he that had pity upon the poor lendeth unto the Lord. So I can be on the poor state. If you got it, help brother out. If you don't, offer some advice on how you can get it, so other brothers can benefit from it, And then it says, and that which he had given will he pay him again. So the Lord Yabashim Ashai is just power. So that was the point that I came. Hope you've been edified. Pray Lord Yabashim Ashai Bashim Kokadash continue to bless you and multiply you. Shalom.